Hi, sisters and brothers. So, I'm going to try to share the stream with you the way I recollect it as accurately as possible. So, the stream starts out that I am resting on the side of this bed, and I start to hear two people talking. And next to the bed was a lamp, or not a lamp. You put your lamp on it. It was a nightstand, and above that was a window. And on the other side of the room was a sliding glass door that had a little porch, and you could look out through this sliding glass window door and see like a pond, and it was this countryside, beautiful countryside landscape. And it had this dark curtains hanging off to the side, each side of it. So anyway, that's what the room looks like. And I heard these two people talking, and I began to listen. And I heard one of them. Well, what I perceived was one of them was a man and a woman, and the man was a realtor, and he was trying to sell this house I was in. And the house I was in, to me, it seems like the White House. So I'm sitting in this room of, on the left side of the White House, and that's the way the room was laid out. And outside the window, there was a man and a woman. The man was a realtor, and he was showing the White House to this woman. And he was trying to sell the White House to this woman. And then I peeked through the window, and they seen me, and they didn't know that I had been listening. And when they seen me, they got really like, oh, someone heard us. And they quickly walked off. And then I started to hear a really low voice. I realized that it was coming from my nightstand. So I leaned over and I put my ear to the nightstand, and I could hear, like I was listening to a video coming through the nightstand, and it was Kim Mosley. And it was like she was doing a video. And then I was like, whoa, I was really tripping out. I was putting my ear all the way down, and I was thinking, wow, this is really awesome. And then it changed from Kim Mosley to Sherry Rich from Andrew Rich channel. And I could hear her doing a video, and her voice, both of their voices, at first it was low. I really had to strain to hear, and it kept getting louder and louder and louder. And then when Kim's was done, it did the same with Sherry. And then the voice of God started to come through the nightstand. And as it did, it sent an infrasound through my whole body. It was like it became so loud that it just permeated my whole body, and it shook me from the inside out. It was like my organs were rattling around, and my muscles were just like tight because of God's sonic voice permeating through my body. And it did this to me like 3 times, like a shock, and it was just so loud. And he was telling me something, and I was like, okay, write it down. You know how the Lord tells me to write everything down. And so in the dream, I grabbed a piece of paper out of the drawer of the nightstand, and it was a receipt. And it had writing on the back side of it. And on the other side, I started writing it down. You guys, I can't remember for the life of me what I wrote down. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember. But, the Lord does what he does, and he has his ways. And so I stood up, and I knew my husband was in the other little room with this door divider, and I went in there and I said, come here, you got to listen to this. And he was eating, and he said, okay. And on his way into the bedroom, he said, boy, I bet you'll be glad when your dad sells this house. And he was listening, he heard it, and he made the comment, man, boy, I bet you'll be glad when your dad sells this house. Now, my daddy is God, and we're in the White House, okay? And then we went to turn around and leave this room, and I remember I said there was a sliding glass window, and you could look out. Well, the curtains had turned to pure white, and hand embroidered on these curtain panels was a big, huge tree, and it had all different colors of the rainbow on it. Well, the leaves were all different colors of the rainbow, and it was just gorgeous. It was beautiful, and it was softly blowing in the breeze, and it was just beautiful, and I just took it as the Lord's promise, So that first part of the dream was, this is talking political. America is going to fall. The Lord is going to sell the White House, and we are all getting ready to leave, you guys. And if the Lord says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. And he shows us and speaks to us, and, he gives dreams and visions to people, and we share these things. And that's why I was hearing Kim Mosley and Sherry. And Sherry interprets dreams. And then I heard God's voice right after that. And it was just pretty amazing. But the realtor outside the window, and then they're planning on selling the White House. It's the Lord's will that this destruction is going to come, and America is going to fall. We are going to be left without a government, and our country is going to be in devastation and famine and pestilence and disease. It is God's judgment for our nation leaving him and worshiping false gods and idols, idolatry, and things like that. So the second part of the dream, the next scene was I was sitting at a table with Jenna Bush, okay, George Bush's daughter. There's Jenna and Barbara. Now, you guys, Jenna, I never knew this, but Jenna and Barbara are twins. This is the second dream I've had about one or the other of them. Okay? And I was sitting in the kitchen at the White House with Jenna, and there was a few other people there too. It was Jenna and her husband and some other man and me, and we were eating raviolis. She got done eating, and I kept eating. Now, in my flesh in the dream, I was thinking, oh, maybe she doesn't think I should eat that much, but she was just waiting, for me to finish. And raviolis, what are they? They're grain and meat. They're stuffed with meat and milk. So here I am eating the meat and the milk and the grain. And I'll tell you what Jenna means, you guys. Jenna is it is of Arabic origin, and the meaning of Jenna is heaven. It also means God's grace. Amen. So I'm eating at this table with Jenna Bush, and I believe we're representing grace, heaven, eating the meat of the word, in the presence of the Lord, and her husband, which represents God. And the other person, I don't know. I'm just, kind of up in the air who he meant. I don't know. But then we decided to leave. So we all get up from the table and we leave. And they're following me through the White House, and I come upon, we walk through this corridor and out into this huge room. Now, this room looks like where the White House gives press conferences when they're sitting two people behind when the president's standing at the podium or whoever's speaking, and all the members of Congress are sitting out in the audience. So I walk through there and I cut through right in front of the bench or the podium, whatever, and run through there and get to the other side of the podium. There is a door, and I open this door and I see all these men in there. It was a secret room. And as they were holding this meeting outside, I opened the door inside the secret room, and there were all these naked men. Old, ugly, naked men. And some had cigars, some were, and they had these cheeky grins and just kind of mischievous. And they were having their own secret meeting, their private meeting behind this closed door. And I said, oops, and I shut the door. I said, we don't want that room. And then I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm going, And so Jenna and I said, I'm not supposed to be around here. I don't know what's going on, So Jenna and her husband led me. They said, okay, follow me. So I followed them through all these secret passageways. I mean, there were doors appearing, jutting out. They would jut out, and a door would open up in just a regular plain hallway. Like, no one else could have seen it. It was a secret passageway because we were going to a room that nobody else knew about. It was like this upper room nobody else knew about. And I was following her to get through all of these politicians and meeting rooms and through these hallways. And at one point, I had actually walked up a vertical set of stairs. It was almost vertical, like going up a ladder. But as I walked up, it was like I was going through a penny slot. Really thin and long, like a penny slot. It was really weird. But, and then once I squeezed through that and got up into the room, it was like red carpet too. But once I did that, the dream ended. And so I just really believe that, America, what we see happening right now, what America sees in the media, what politicians are saying and things like that, it's a front. Behind that, there is a shadow government with all these gross, nasty men. They're just evil, and they are deciding our fate. And what they don't know is that God is behind the scenes, and He's the one deciding America's fate. He is making, it's been prophesied. And, sorry, I have people walking by. Hi. So, yeah. And so, like, a couple months ago, it reminded me, that I had that dream that I was watching this, meeting go on with military leaders from all over the world. And they were all coming to this one table. And they were all bringing something to the table. Like one military leader brought a bag of oranges. Another one, they all had different things, trinkets or just different things that they were putting onto the table. And what they were doing, what I perceived in this dream, was they were bartering our lives. They were going to kill us all. That's what they wanted. And I remember the dream thinking, they care about one life? They don't. And then there was one seat empty, and this man walked up, sat down in the seat, and said, "Sorry, I'm late." And I have no idea who it was. But the meeting had already started, and this one man walked up and he said, "Sorry, I'm late." And as soon as he sat down, it's like everybody got serious. And when I walked into the room of the naked man, I thought, this is exactly what's going on. They are doing things behind the world's back, deciding, selling us, bartering land, bartering nations, and making this appearance of something that it's not. It's all like a front. They want us all in like a civil war, upheaval, nation against nation, people against people. And when I look at Trump now, I just want to throw up. I voted for him, you guys. I thought, yeah, first time I ever voted in my life, I voted for this man. And the more the Lord reveals to me about him, the more it makes me sick. He is Illuminati. He is not who people think he is, really. I don't know. I've just seen so many things like that. It's just really weird. He makes me sick. And I don't know. And then too, so yeah, the stream was just really really got to me in the beginning about how the realtor was looking to sell the White House. And then my husband said, "Man, I'll bet you'll be glad when your dad sells this place." Well, man, I will. I'll tell you. Because I know it's time to go. We're going to meet him in the air. He's coming in the clouds of glory. And then, two. Sorry, you guys. I know I say and all that. But also, too, I didn't go to sleep till about 2 in the morning. I was on the phone with Sister Sherry. And it's so hard for me to sleep. You know, when the Lord has us watching, we are constantly watching. Just constantly. It's so hard for me to just relax and fall asleep. And anyway, I got off the phone with her, and as soon as I closed my eyes, I started having this vision of the huge hurricane. It was a hurricane or a tornado or some kind of cyclone weather. And I thought, well, maybe that's just my eyeballs, you know. I don't know. Because every time I've seen the hurricanes or the tornadoes, it's black. It's just this black mass just spinning around and around and around. And it just means devastation. And so I opened my eyes and closed them again. And there it was again. Like I was standing in the eye of it. And I know the last time that I had these visions, I didn't realize what it meant, but all the hurricanes came over Florida. And then the Lord started telling me there will be 21 judgments upon America. I seen all these tornadoes or hurricanes all over the United States. They were everywhere. And I seen heavenly courtrooms all on the map of the United States, and the roofs were off, and I could look inside, and there were angels in there sitting in a courtroom, and they were bringing judgment upon America. And so yeah, this weather is just crazy. The skies are doing some crazy things. Like a few nights ago when the sun was setting, I looked out my window and I thought, that is so weird. The whole landscape was red. I said, it looks kind of like when the eclipse went over, how the polarization of the light, how it hit everything, the trees and the grass and everything was changed. Almost like a darkness came through. But this was turning everything red. Like if you took a picture and put it through one of those filters, And I've never seen anything like it before in my life, you guys. It was really creepy. I've never seen a sunset, when it sets, turn everything red. I don't know if you guys have, but I've never experienced that. And it's just the feeling that came over me, because I went outside and was standing on the porch, and I was thinking, this is weird. So we're just the Lord is showing so many signs that He said in the Bible that He was going to happen. And, you turn on the maps, you look at all the earthquakes. There's so many earthquakes happening right now, especially along the Mexico, Southwest California border. And all along China and Japan and through there. And then you have this tornado or hurricane. It's like at a Cat 3 right now, but it is looming off the coast of Australia. And in a dream, I had seen that terrible weather was going to come to the western, like the northwestern part of Australia. And for some reason, I was thinking ruby mines. Something about ruby mines. I don't know, you guys, but, just be prepared. The Lord is coming so soon. And I hope you guys are having a beautiful day.